The island of Borneo is the third largest island in the world. It is a global biodiversity hotspot, famously home to orangutans and pygmy elephant. In recent decades, habitat loss in Borneo has been dramatic, with an estimated 50% decline in forest cover since the 1970s, largely due to logging and palm oil plantation expansion. As a result, the instances of human-wildlife conflict have escalated, and the race is on to find effective management solutions. Hunting has become a controversial practice in modern times. My name is Dan Cabela, and I am traveling the globe to explore the true impact hunting is having on our remaining wild landscapes. This practice goes back as far as human history can remember. But does it have a place in modern conservation? As human populations around the world expand, the pressure to convert wild landscapes to industrial production escalates. I am traveling to Borneo, a hotbed of human-wildlife conflict. I hope to better understand this problem and look at some of the solutions to mitigate it. I join outfitter Darren Coe, who will guide me during my time in Borneo. He is well connected with the local communities and understands the challenges of living in a landscape with wildlife. You must be Darren.
Nice to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you.
All right, welcome to Borneo.
Glad to be here for sure. There's problems with crocodiles, elephants, and we're gonna kind of take a look at everything, at least as much as we can. So I'm pretty excited to get this started. This is a very exotic place, and I think it's going to be a very wild adventure. We start my investigation by meeting with the local village headman, Osman, to learn more about the impact of elephants. And how often do they see them?
Every 2 to 3 nights, you get them in the village. To him, it's a never-ending problem.
In my travels and the things I've done in Africa, you see a lot of human-wildlife conflict with elephants, but these are like rural villages. They're not developed with streets and cars, so it's pretty interesting to me that the elephants are actually coming into a very developed area and causing havoc. And what kind of damage do they do?
In the village, normally, as you can see, they plant, they have fruit trees, bananas, coconut, and they always go after the water tank. It's like a ball to them, there's water in it, and they always squash the water tank to get the water out. 3 days ago, the elephant was here. It's hard to get water here. So normally what they do is they keep tanks, tanks of water for emergency usage. So they feel that they give up hope in, planting a fruit or vegetable that they want to plant for themselves.
It is clear that the people here need help to reduce the frequency of conflict. New collaring technology may be one solution, providing a better understanding of elephant movements and an effective alert system for locals. As I've seen around the world, if conflict escalates with no alternative offered, eventually people will take measures into their own hands. For both humans and wildlife, solutions for conflict need to be found. Over the next few days, I will be joining an elephant collaring project as a first step to help local people with this problem.
Then, we just received a phone call from one of the estate, and right now, there's one elephant that's in the village.
The reality of the stories I had just heard were playing out in real time. Oh, yeah, right there. It's unbelievable that we found something this quickly. Really amazing to see a pygmy elephant in the wild, but also I can totally sympathize with the folks here who are dealing with this. I mean, this is literally just off their home here. I mean, is that a full-grown one, or is that a
young adult at the age of maybe about 18 to 20 years old? Paling liar. According to him, he's the naughtiest elephant in this area.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. How he recognized it, there's only one tusk, one-sided tusk. It's feeding on the young coconut shoots. That's actually the part of the crop that they are planting. and roaming around, destroying all the water tanks, or breaking into somebody's kitchen, trying to grab hold of salt. So you have about 60 to 70 elephants roaming in this area.
Does he see him every day or
3 times in a month.
3 times a month?
A month. To relate of information that they receive, and the elephants already in the village and they couldn't do anything.
Any people hurt? Any fatalities?
So basically it's 3 fatalities ever since 2018. Yeah.
Pretty significant. I mean, 3 fatalities in less than 6 years is it's a big deal. Seeing this for myself, I realized just how important it is to find solutions quickly to avoid harm to people and elephants. So this is pretty crazy. I mean, I'm literally 20 yards from this elephant. It could care less that I'm standing here. Very habituated. So yeah, I mean, conflict is extremely evident just in proximity. So although this is super amazing to me and quite humbling, I come from halfway across the globe and I don't have to deal with this on a daily basis. So what is amazing to me is actually somewhat frightening for the people that live here that have to deal with it every day. So yeah, if this was in my backyard, I might see this a little differently. We've been watching this, what they call the naughty elephant, for the better part of an hour, I suppose. And at one point he was up on the hill, now he's right next to the house. Really, there's nothing anybody can do. Yell at it, hope it leaves, but it doesn't seem to be worried at all. Something needs to be done to really mitigate and solve these problems. It's not an easy thing to solve, obviously. To learn more about the collaring process and elephant capture, we meet up with veterinarian Norman Effendi. This is a chance for me to familiarize myself with the equipment. While the elephants I saw seem peaceful, it is not without risk.
The main point is conservation, just to track the animals, see, we can detect where are the elephants roaming around here, and then we want to prevent the conflict between the wild animals and human. Very, very important. It's dangerous, but it's very, very important, for the sake of conservation, we have to do it. Whether it's dangerous or not, we have to take the risk.
After a delay in the tracking collar arriving, it finally lands in the country. Now we are ready to undertake the new collaring and tracking project. Typical on a lot of these things I've done, especially overseas, is the stuff kind of just comes together at the last minute. It's kind of magic usually, but we've got it. So now we just need to go find an elephant.
Yeah.
Well, we got it.
We got it.
Meeting up with the second vet in our team, Felix Daniel. We are soon back in the plantations looking for signs of elephants. We start at the last location they were seen from the previous night, trying to pick up an indication of the direction they are traveling.
In Borneo, there has been an overpopulation of the elephant. So when that happens, food resource will be limited. That is where they start going out because they are hungry. So they will find ways and means to go out of the natural habitat to get easy access to food.
There was a group of, they're saying around 10 elephant in this area early this morning, 4 a.m.-ish, trying to figure out what direction they might have went.
All tracks is this way. Good news, the solo. Yeah.
Oh, good, perfect.
Yeah.
I think they've spotted a solo bull. We're gonna go check it out.
Last I spotted their track was going to that direction. It was a bit too far for us to track it anymore. And now we are back here and 2 elephants just walked up into the plantation.
You saw the tracks or you saw the...
Tracks, yeah, tracks, new tracks coming out. This one. There. It's coming up in the open.
We spotted an elephant behind a pretty big screen of trees, but it's very open. It's going that direction, so.
We don't miss our opportunity and quickly prep the dart gun.
It seems pretty good.
I think we're gonna dart the smaller one, because if we dart the miniature, the big one, the rest is gonna stay around, and that's a bit more risky for us to
For sure.
do the coloring.
Moving in, I feel the tension building. It's a big responsibility, and there are a lot of elephants here. Now, we wait and make sure we don't lose sight of the darted animal.
It takes about 45 minutes to 1 hour for the darts to take action. Then after that, once the elephant is relaxed, so we will slowly approach the elephant and then cover the eyes, and then we'll put the collar on, and then we adjust the collar.
In Sabah, there are not many collaring have been done using a collar which is activated by GSM instead of GPS.
The Global System for Mobile Communications, or GSM for short, allows for better real-time data to be transmitted, which means communities will be notified about the elephant's movements in time to prevent conflict. While Felix monitors the elephant, I take the opportunity to ask Darren more about the collar.
How often does it update, do you know?
We will set a perimeter. It's called geofencing. For example, we can set it at about 5 kilometers radius from the village. And once it reaches within that range of the geofencing, we can even update it within 10 minutes. Every 10 minutes we'll get updates.
That's great. With the elephant losing its footing, we move in.
So this is a young male pygmy elephant. These elephants only exist in Borneo.
It is an incredible moment to be this close, and I get the overwhelming sense that what the team is doing is the start of tangible help for the elephants and the local people.
Even if it falls, it's okay as long as it's right.
Okay. So there's room for growth? Yeah. It shouldn't be too tight or too loose. Otherwise, they'll be able to rip it off from it.
Then this is microchip for the elephant as a unique ID if the elephant died or were killed by poachers, so we can detect it. Yeah. So 9369.
Thank you so much. This is probably one of the coolest conservation moments of my life. What an incredible, incredible species.
Thank you very much, Dan, for coming, all the way to Sabah and, helping us to do this.
Thank you.
As the light fades, the job is done, and it's time to wake up the elephant and allow it to rejoin its family group.
when you're out here dealing with wildlife, and main thing is taking the precautions to keep safety first. So everything went very well today. Elephant's not showing any signs of discomfort. He's just a little groggy, but in a matter of minutes, he'll vanish into the jungle. So pretty awesome day.
Elephants are not the only human-wildlife conflict in Borneo. Crocodiles kill and injure people every year. Darren takes me to meet croc attack survivor Helmi Yanshan.
When did this happen?
After he stepped onto the crocodile, it basically tried to launch itself onto him, and that's when he saw the big jaws coming at the side of his face.
It is a harrowing account of what can happen, and it's easy to understand why local people want problem crocodiles removed from areas. That is usually achieved by targeting and hunting specific animals. There is another side to this story. Humans also have an impact on crocodiles. Responding to a call, I joined Darren on the water, heading to a crocodile reportedly trapped in fishing nets. When the croc was originally found, it was alive, but sadly, we couldn't get there in time. Speaking to the local fishermen, catching crocs in their nets is a common occurrence. I am really starting to understand how complicated the balance between humans and wildlife can be in this shared landscape. There are no easy solutions. There never seems to be a dull moment in Borneo, and as we leave, Darren gets another phone call. A suspected man-eating croc has been located. We rapidly changed our plans and head to an isolated pool in one of the plantations. Once in the plantations, they are a very real threat to human life. And this croc is a suspected man-eater. The only method to prevent further loss to human life is to remove it. It doesn't take us long to locate the problem animal. We approach with caution, being careful not to spook the croc. In the murky water, it is impossible to see where the croc has gone. It is now a game of patience, searching the bottom of the pool with a grappling hook in an attempt to snag the body.
Okay, stand by, it's there. Okay.
After several hours, we finally hook up.
Close it up.
It is a mix of emotions, taking the life of this crocodile, but knowing that human life has also been saved.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Very old, mature crocodile that's probably got quite a few stories to tell, I would imagine.
Definitely.
From my end, the little bit of research that I've done, it seems that there is a bit of a reputation for these man-eating crocodiles. So this kind of happens in a few places over the country, correct?
Yes, this year alone, I think we had about 6 killer crocs.
Wow. Well, you're really taking care of two problems, right? You're
That's
putting
right.
food on the table for
That's
people, and you're also taking care of a problem crocodile that's harassing people trying to do their jobs here. So pretty amazing.
Pretty amazing.
Borneo is unlike any place I have ever been, beautiful and rich in biodiversity. It is also facing incredible pressure from people. It is a shared landscape, And for the wildlife to have a home in the future, positive steps will have to be made to ensure the little remaining habitat stays intact. It is a complicated problem, pitting the needs of people against the needs of wildlife. But I hope with new technology like the elephant tracking program, more harmony can be found.